Welcome to Monetize You, where baby boomers learn how to get paid to live their lifelong dreams.
Hi, this is Angela Heath, speaker, trainer, and author, with part 2 of my 3-part series on mindset. Mindset, critically important. So part 1, we talked about who are you? Figuring out what is the core of who you are. Some people call it purpose, other people call it destiny. Whatever you call it is actually getting to the reason you exist, the reason why you take up space on the planet. So that's part 1. And part 2 is after you've discovered who you are, then how do you become that person? It's always easier said than done. Because when you're changing your mindset, it actually means that you become someone different, or you become someone new, or the way I like to say it is you become who you've always been, but you just didn't know it. So let me give you 3 tips on how to become who you are. First, you've got to get a true picture of what that means for your life. So for me, becoming a speaker, trainer, and author gives me this clear, crisp picture that I think about on a weekly, if not daily basis of what that means for me. Because as I clarify that picture, it tells me how to spend my time and how to eliminate time wasters from my life. It gives me boundaries around my time so that I can use it more efficiently. I begin to see it. I begin to live it. I begin to speak it into existence because I am becoming who I am authentically. So getting a picture of who you really are, you can do that in a lot of different ways. Some people, paste pictures from magazines all around their homes. That's fine. I choose to use a vision board. So here's my vision board for 2015, and so you see on this side here, you see pictures of people speaking in different arenas, and so I look at that quite often. And you see on this side, top books of the year. I look at that quite often. And then at the top, I list why becoming who I am authentically is important to me, because it's not just about me. Being an author, I'm sitting in back of a ton of books. And all of these books behind me are just books on one topic, which is biblical finances, because that's something that I speak on. And I've read all of these books. Some of these books I've read twice. And I have more of them, because if I'm going to speak on a topic, I want to be very well versed in it. So you get that picture of what your reality is, and then you develop a personal tagline, something that you can use to introduce yourself to others, and something that they can believe about you. Because not only are you becoming who you authentically are, other people are beginning to see you in the reality of who you are. So tagline, when I introduce myself to people, I say I'm a professional speaker, trainer, and author. Very simple. They understand exactly who I am. Usually their next question is, what do you speak and train and write about? And then the conversation can go from there. So develop your personal tagline. Make it quick and snapping. And then finally, my 3rd tip. Becoming who you are. Study successful people in your industry or field of influence. How do they live? How do they present themselves? Where do they go? Who do they associate with? Find successful people. Look at what part of their life makes them successful and emulate them. Use them as your mentors, whether you meet them in person or not. I think the highest form of flattery is when a young person comes up to me and says, Miss Angela, can I talk to you about my career? Can you give me some tips on some things I can do? I'm flattered, and I'm happy to do that for a young person in my field. and most professional people are happy to do it for others. So, first step, figuring out who you are. Today we talked about how do you become who you are authentically. And those 3 tips, picturing your reality, developing your personal tagline, and studying successful people in your industry will be very helpful to you. This is Angela Heath. Stay tuned to part 3 when we're talking about mindset.